Hi, this is Chris from AUX Designer, and today I want to show you how to get user input in AUXPlayer. As AUX Designers, we're creating ambient user experiences that will be experienced by an end user, and sometimes we're going to want the end user to be able to input data from AUXPlayer. So here is how we do that. What we're going to do is we're going to build a bot that when you click it, it'll ask for some input to be entered. In this case, we're going to do the person's name. So right now, I created too many bots, but I put a surface out here and I'm adding a bot to that surface. Let me add it to room 1. That is the name of our surface. Let me set that to true and it'll put it out there. And there it is. And now we're going to add a label to that. So a new tag aux.label. And we're going to just type name in there so you know this is the one that you click to add your name. And there's that. So now we're going to create an onClick event. So we'll add a new tag, onClick. So when the user clicks on this bot, we want a few things to happen. So the first thing is when the user clicks this bot, we want to create another bot. It's for them to put their name on it, so let's add a create event. And we want this bot to appear in our context, so let's create a variable and let's call it contextMod. So let contextMod, and then we want to set room 1 to true when this bot is created. So now we have this variable and we need to call that variable in the create event, so let's add this down here. So right now when the user clicks on the bot, it creates a bot and it places it in our context, but let's also make it so this bot that it creates is a random color. So let's create another variable called randomColorMod. So let randomColorMod equal, and then we want to set our aux.color tag to a random hexcode, and you can use this script right here to do that. And we also need to call that variable in the create event. So now when the user clicks this bot, it'll create a random colored bot and place it in our context. Now we need to make it so that they can enter data. So one final variable called inputMod, and this is going to do a few things. When it creates the bot, what it's going to do is going to ask the player for some information. What is your name? It's going to have some placeholder text. This is enter your name here. And it's going to save the data that they enter to the aux.label tag so it'll show up on the bot. The important part here is the player.showInputForTag function. This is the function you use to get user input in AUXPlayer. It accepts a few parameters. The first is the bot. What bot do we want this to be on? In this case, we want it to be on this bot. That is the bot we're creating in this onClick event. The second part is in quotes. This is the tag that we want to store whatever data they're entering in. In this case, we want to store it in aux.label because we're asking for their name. They enter that in. We'll present it to them in the label of the bot. And the third part is the option. This is in curly brackets, and we get to pick what type of data we want. In this instance, we want them to enter text, and then we have a title and some placeholder text so they know what we're asking for. So that is our final variable, inputMod. And then finally, we need to call that variable in the create event. So a lot of things happening here, and I'll have this code in the description below. But let's go check it out and see what it does. All right, and let's jump into the context. Okay, now when I click on this bot, it's going to create another bot, that randomly colored one. It'll ask me to enter my name, and I'll do that here. And then I'll save that, and then it'll add it to the bot because it saved it to the aux.label tag. And then I can do it again, add another name. Let's do Sally. Save that, now we have another bot. And let's do another one where you can enter your name. So, your name. Let's save that. And now we have 3 bots with different names on them. And if we go back to Channel Designer, we can see that the aux.label tag is set to the name that we entered into the input field. All right, I'm going to switch browsers here. Okay, so we have a bot that when we tap it, it creates a bot with a random color, and then it asks for some input. It asks for your name that you enter, and then it saves that to the aux.label tag. All right, so let's say the random color that you get on your bot you don't like, and you want to be able to change that. We can allow the user to do that too. to change the color of their bot by using the player.showInputForTag function. Let me show you how to do it. So we're going to go back into our onClick event. So all we need to do is add another line of code to our inputMod. So earlier where we had an onCreate added to our new bot, we are going to add an onClick to our new bot. So when the user clicks this bot, then we're going to call a player.showInputForTag function. We're going to add it to this new bot. We're going to store the information in the aux.color tag, and the sort of input we want from them is a color. So it's going to show a color picker instead of a text box. So let's check it out. Okay, and let's go to the context. And let's tap on this bot to create a new one. And let's enter a name. I'll enter Chris. So here's the bot. Hey, let's say I don't like blue. So I can tap on this bot. It'll pull up this color picker. I can pick one of these colors, or I can set a hex code. Let's say I like this orange-yellow color. And now I have an orangish-yellow bot that I picked, that I changed as a user from within AUXPlayer, that also changed the aux.color tag. So jumping back into our onClick event where we have our script. Right now we have type, the color, because we want the user to insert a color they want. We can also have a subtype. Right now it's set to the default, which is basic, but we could also set it to swatch, which will visualize the color picker differently. So let's jump and see what that looks like. All right, and let's jump back into the context. Okay, a user comes along, clicks on the bot, creates a new bot. Let's say her name is Sharon. So she enters her name. And let's say she doesn't like this brownish color. She can click on that, and here we have the color picker, but laid out in a swatch subtype. And she likes this orangish color. And there we go. There's also one more way to visualize it, so let me show you that real quick. All right, back in our onClick event again, and we can change the subtype to one more thing. So right now it's at subtype swatch. Originally it was at the default subtype basic, but we can add subtype advanced, and it'll give us another way to visualize the color picker. Let's go check that out. All right, and let's jump back into the context. And click the white bot again. It'll create another one. Enter a name. This one is Jerome. And then you can click on this bot. And here's another way to visualize the color picker in AUXPlayer. So I've showed you how to get users to input text, and I've shown you how to get users to input color from within AUXPlayer. And that is how you get user input in AUXPlayer. Thank you.